What's up, everybody? We're back with another video, and as you see, we're back in the garage. Messy. We've been doing a lot of stuff in here outside of the cars and the bikes and stuff. But aside from that, we are back in the garage, and today we are working on the 675. Switching it up, we're not working on any of the cars today. We're actually working on the bike, and the reason we're working on the bike is I got a full exhaust. The box is upside down because I opened it upside down without paying attention. But yeah, I went with the Dominator exhaust. I actually saw a few videos of the Dominator exhaust on R9, and it wasn't the one that I got. That one had the GP3 exhaust. I got the GPS exhaust. And the reason I got that, I don't want it to be too loud to where it's like obnoxious for me, at least, you know. I want to get because when I was looking at the Dominator exhaust systems, the full exhaust system is the same. The only difference is the slip-on portion of it that makes the sound difference. So I'm going to run the GPS for now, and then if I feel like I want to do something louder, then I'll probably reach out to them and probably just get the slip-on, the GP3 exhaust, and I'll insert clips of what those look like right here. But I'm also gonna show you real quick before I get started. I did unwrap some of the exhaust. The only reason I did it was because I wanted to see the muffler section of it. So I didn't unwrap the headers or anything like that. And I did notice though that all the headers are separate. Like each runner is a separate piece, and then there's one collector down at the bottom. So that should make it easier to install, I assume, hopefully, because I'm not sure which runner goes to which cylinder. So I guess we'll figure that out once we get in there. But I did watch an exhaust video from MSC just to kind of see how to take the bike apart. And I'm not going to do a full walkthrough on how to take the bike apart because they did a very detailed step-by-step bolt, what size, where it is. And it's honestly really not that bad. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. And if you hear footsteps and a bunch of panting in the background, I got my boy out here with me. Say what's up, Kane. What up, boy? Yeah, so quality control, he out here. So yeah, I'm gonna get started, and I'll probably just pick it up probably like once I get the fairing off and everything, cause real quick I'll show y'all. If you have one of these, you know, when you do the oil change, you have to take off that underbelly plate, so that has to come off. This front cover has to come off to be able to access the headers. This bolt right here has to come off. This bolt right here has to come off. Up here, there's one under the seat, like right here. There's another one back there. And I think there's a few at the bottom. Yeah, and then that should be it. So, oh yeah, and another thing too, when you're removing the exhaust, they did say that this rear set has to come off, which is easy. It's just 2 Allens right there. So everything is pretty straightforward. So yeah, not gonna waste time, and we are gonna get started. All right, halfway point check-in, and I officially have a naked bike. But all jokes aside, everything's taken apart. Exhaust is off, and you actually don't have to take off both side fairings to get the exhaust off. But for me, it made it a lot easier, so I took off both sides. But I have the Dominator exhaust unboxed, and here are the 3 runners. Which Dominator, they come as 3 separate runners instead of one header, and then it has the collector right here. So I noticed that all of these have a little dot, a little paint mark. Like this one's red, this one is blue, and then this one is yellow. So I'm gonna see, there was no instructions in the box. So I'm gonna go on the Dominator website and see if it tells me which ones are supposed to go where, or if I just need to figure it out on my own. But anyways, so runners with the little well-done tabs for the spring clamp for the collector. And the Dominator exhaust is made in Poland. And oh wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That shit just made it real easy. I still don't know which cylinder each one of these go to though. I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. But that made it a lot easier, so I at least know which one they're going to for the collector. But yeah, like the welds and everything on this look pretty damn good. For 500 bucks for a full system exhaust, I don't think that's pretty bad. I mean, look at this. That looks good. With the little spacer for the secondary O2 sensor, which that must be for the European bikes, because Dominator, I said it already, Dominator's made in Poland, but my bike only had one. This is the factory exhaust, and this had some weight to it too, but mine only had one O2 sensor, so that must be for the European one. And then the can, big Dominator on the side, straight through. So this is the second loudest exhaust that they offer for like every single bike, because they pretty much offer like the same tip for almost every bike. The size is just different. So yeah, I got the second loudest. So we're gonna see. So I'm gonna do some research, see if I can see which one those go to, which cylinders the runners go to, and then we're gonna start putting it back together. And then I will check in and let y'all know for anybody that is interested in running a Dominator exhaust, so y'all don't have to do the research. Once I get it back together, I'll tell you which colors go to which cylinders, starting from left to right. If you're on the bike, sitting on the bike like this, I'm gonna go cylinder 1, 2, 3. So remember that. Cylinder 1 on the left side, 2 in the middle, 3 on the right side. All right, what's up everybody? We're back to day 2 on the install of the Dominator exhaust. Should have been a 1-day install, but I'm gonna show you why it ended up being a 2-day install. So if you are interested in getting the Dominator exhaust from watching this video so far, which I mean, you haven't even heard the bike, so, but regardless, if you were looking at it or interested in it for the 675, you are gonna have to change the bungs out, because the exhaust comes with 2 O2 sensor bungs for what would be, because this is a D-Cat, what would be a pre-Cat O2 sensor and then a post-Cat O2 sensor. It comes with both, but as you see, the OEM exhaust for the US market ones, for the SS, only has the single O2 sensor. And the size of the O2 sensor is different. The size for this one is a 12 millimeter, and I needed to exchange it out for a 18 millimeter. So I went to my boy Michael 270 Fab, if you're here in Georgia, and I got him to change that out. So shout out to him, because I hit him up, told him that I kind of like really needed it done ASAP, and he was able to just, you know, I was able to drop it off this morning and pick it up same day. He knocked it out for me real quick, and real nice too. Look at that. So now I can put the O2 sensor into this. I can install this onto the runners that I already installed last night. And speaking of that, I remember I told you guys the color code for the runners. So the color code is going from left to right. If you're like sitting on the bike, the left runner was the red dot, the blue runner is the middle dot, as you see, and then the right runner is the yellow dot, as you see. So then, like I said, you match those up with the collector, blue, yellow, red, and that's it. So I'm gonna install this first to the runners. I have the runners loose right now, so they have wiggle room, and I'm able to, you know, get it on. So I'm gonna install that, get that on, slipped onto the runners. What's up, Kane? Yeah, slip that onto the runners, tighten up the runners, and then go ahead with the rest of the install. All right, mission success. Bike back together. Exhaust installed. Looking good. Looking good. Like, ooh-wee. Yeah. And I like the Dominator logo. It looks pretty cool. And I like how it's forced to be mounted. It kind of just tilts it down a little bit. But yeah, got everything back together, all the fairings back on. Bike is complete. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I did cheat, and I started it up without the muffler, just the headers, and then basically I guess the resonator, and then right there without this part. And I didn't even let it warm up all the way, and I just let it idle for a few seconds and gave it like some baby revs. And I'm gonna insert the clip right here. This shit is sick. Yeah, so as you seen from that clip, it was spitting fire, and like the bike was only at like 100 degrees, and I was revving it to like 2,000 RPM. So it wasn't anything crazy. So I I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing started up. Smell, you just smell it. That shit made my dad come outside. Up and then give it some revs. Alright, so that pretty much concludes the exhaust video, and I must say, I love how it sounds. I love how it sounds. I love how it sounds, and I also love how it looks. I am gonna put back, there's you know, on the CFMoto, if you see the factory exhaust, it has the two metal shields. It's the silver shield and then the black shield. I am gonna put the black shield back in the front. I honestly wasn't even thinking about it when I was putting the bike together. And then my dad, he was like, why you don't put the black shield back? And I was like, you know what? I was like, I didn't even think about that. You're right. And then I was like, I wonder if it can work without having the silver shield. So I went on the Dominator website, and sure enough, they did install it with the black shield, just not with the silver shield that covers up like the tail section, the catalytic converter part of the exhaust. So I'm going to add that back so it kind of covers up the springs right here and the collector. I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy seeing it, but the bike kind of looks a little incomplete from the side like that right there. So I'm just going to add that back. But yeah, if I have to rate this Dominator exhaust right now without riding it because it is late, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I got to go to work in the morning, so I'm not going to take it for a ride right now. But if I had to rate the exhaust, honestly, like just for fit and finish, quality of it, I would give it a 10 out of 10, but because of the O2 sensor issue and yeah, like I was saying, so I would give it a 10 out of 10 with the fit and finish and the quality and everything, but I would say I'd have to knock it down to like an 8 because of the O2 sensor issue and the fact that it was a 12mm bung instead of the 18mm bung. If that was listed somewhere on the website, I would give it a 10 out of 10 because at least then you know what you're getting into. But not knowing that and then having to call the fabricator to get it swapped out, you know, grind down the original bung, drill out the hole bigger, and then add in a new bung. Not everybody knows a fabricator. Not everybody has a fabricator, has access to a fabricator. So because of that reason, I can't give it a 10 out of 10. But for my personal experience, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because my boy Michael, he knocked it out the park with it. He's an amazing welder. I've had work done by him before. I know multiple people that have gotten work done by him. He does full turbo kits for cars, turbo manifolds, intercooler piping, tube front ends. Like he's like a one-stop shop when it comes to fabrication. So I had no problem. And then like I told him what the deal was and that, you know, the bike was down and I needed it done ASAP. And he was like, yeah, bro, just come and drop it off and I'll have it done same day. And literally same day, I dropped it off this morning. By lunchtime, it was done. So not everybody can say that their fabricator does that because some fabricators are a little bougie and they be like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'll wait. You know, you got to wait. So, but yeah, we got a pretty good relationship. So yeah, shout out to Michael, 270 Fab. If you're in Georgia, you need any type of fabrication needs, holla at him. That's my boy. And yeah, tell him I sent you. I mean, You're probably not gonna get no discount or anything, but he gonna take care of you. So, but yeah. So I guess with that, I guess I'll let y'all go. One more quick look at the exhaust, and that's that. And then also too, the headers already starting to get a little gold on them, and I didn't even ride the bike yet. Literally just had it idling, revved it up a few times. It was up to temperature. It started smoking, so all the little, I cleaned it off with brake clean and everything so that there's no fingerprints on the exhaust. So make sure you do that if you install your exhaust. Clean it off with like some brake clean, intake cleaner, some type of cleaner, so that when it does get hot, it doesn't burn your fingerprints into the exhaust and your exhaust looks all nasty and yucky. So yeah, it's gold. That looks cool, if I do say so myself. But yeah, so so tomorrow I'm gonna put back on the plastic metal piece, and then I'm gonna clean the bike up, and we're ready for the springtime, baby. Minus tail tidy and windscreen and grips and a bunch of other stuff, but we got sound. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate you subscribing, and appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you found this enjoyable. And yeah, if you're looking for us, if you have a 675 and now you're looking at a Dominator exhaust, I would recommend it if you have a fabricator on hand. But yeah, so I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Later.